Hi guys, and welcome to another Divi theme tutorial. This is Jamie from System22 and web design and techtips.com. Well, in our last video we created this banner here that sort of grows on hover. Let's add a little countdown timer here with a little call to action to make this a little bit more urgent. So let's enable the visual builder so we can build on the front end. Once the builder's enabled, let's go down. Actually, before we go down there, I'd just like to make a comment. We made this full width slider up here the other day, and a gentleman by the name of Tom commented on the video about that quite correctly, actually, that why didn't I just use the full width module? If I just create a new section here, you can create a full width section, and there's an option to have a full width slider in here as well. Full width slider right there at the bottom. Same exact process as we did with R1. Let's just get rid of that. And he's absolutely correct. The only reason I did this with my way, which was with a regular section and just expanded it, is purely out of habit. And it also does show you how you can actually expand a row to be full width. But he was absolutely correct when he said that, so I just thought I'd point it out, and thank you for that comment, Tom. Okay, so let's get back to what we were doing. Let's go in here, let's add a little module. And of course, by default, Divi comes with all these modules as standard. Enough to build any sort of site. If you want to take Divi for a test run, you can do so from my affiliate link below. Okay, so let's add a countdown timer. There we are. Great. There it is. We're done. No. Let's style it, making it our own as usual. When it pops up, it's going to come up with this content tab here. Put in whatever title you want. Say perhaps "Don't Miss Out." Or something like "The clock is ticking" or something. Here you can set when you want it to count down to. Now we are still in April. Last time I checked, we're the 6th today, so if it's on for 3 days, let's make it the 9th. And down here you can change the hour, so I'll make it 8 AM perhaps. And the minute right here, obviously top's going to be 59 and bottom's going to be 0, so 8 AM on the 9th is when it's going to count down to. If you want to link the whole module, you can. In fact, let's link this to our sales page, and we'll also do a call to action, so if they click anywhere on it, it'll take them to our sales page or wherever it is you particularly want to take them. And we're going to use the dynamic content for that as well, which is this. If you hover over the field, you'll see this little disk icon. Just left click on it. Choose wherever you want to link to. I want to link to a page. Left click on here and it will bring up the pages, or you can search one if you have a lot, and shop test, because that's the only page we have at this moment. When you're happy, just do that. Okay, well, let's go down to background. I'm going to take that background away and everything disappears because it's white legending at the moment. So let's go over to our design and let's make our title text the purple color that I've been using here. Title text color, just click on there and I'll put in that hex code. And we'll do the same for our numbers text. Just quickly get it so you can see it. And we'll do the same for the description text underneath. We'll separate the text to these little purple colon right there. Label text, let's make that the same color as well. There we go, fantastic. So that's way too small. I want it a lot more shocking and large than that. I may decide to make this full width, this row again, just so we can have a bigger countdown. Actually, it's probably going to be okay. Let's go back up and we'll start with our title text. I'm just going to slide the slider up. I think I'll leave it like that. I'll try it semi-bold. I don't want it too big. Yeah, that's okay. And I think, no, I'm not going to have a text shadow on there. Numbers text again. I think I'll make those semi-bold, and we'll see how far we can slide them up without them falling off the end. So let's take this. That's okay. You see the colons have got a bit mixed up with it there. We can go down to our separator text and increase. So I like the size of that, but like I say, these separators, it's not quite working out there. So let's increase, let's make our row full width. Just going to go into the row. Sizing. And we're going to make that full width. Copy that over to max width. There we go. Now, this now is too big, but our countdown timer, that's working out quite nicely there. So let's do this. Let's make this a little bit smaller. It's going to go back in there, going to go into the module itself, and let's give it a width in sizing of, say, 60–70%. Just take this down a little bit, something like that. Now we want it to be in the middle, so it's module alignment. That's fine. You could even put it over to the right if you wanted to, but we may want to change that on mobile devices and tablets. That's fine. Now this is looking better now. So let's pop him over to the left hand side a bit. I'll use a bit of negative margin to do that, and again we'll want to adjust that. We'll check it on responsive devices. So let's hit this. Let's go over to design. Let's go over to spacing, and we'll give it a negative left margin, which will pull it across. Well, let's try -200. That's okay. Probably even give it 300. Let's try that and see what it looks like. Yeah, that's fine. And of course we're going to add a call to action button underneath, so we'll need to put a negative margin on that to make it sit perfectly under this. And then we'll go through afterwards and make sure that it's all responsive. So that's nice. That's sort of working for me. Let's go back into here. I might want to give that a bit of box shadow, text shadow I should say. Yeah, that's good. And I think I want to make our days, hours, minutes a little bit larger also. So let's go down to there, the label text. We'll make that a little bit larger. That's fine. And I want to drop it down a bit below those numbers right there. So we can do that with the line height. Just pop that up, and as you can see, it's getting a bit more space. So I want it somewhere where it's almost similar amount of space from the title to there, so perhaps a little bit less. Great, well that's going to work for me. So let's add a little call to action button. So we'll save that because that's working fine. We'll add a little call to action button. Just hit the little dark circle with a white X to add a new module, and we'll just hit a button. And let's say shop now. Or whatever you happen to want to say. And again, we'll link it to that same page, our sales page, test page that we made. Page link. Shop test, it was already in there actually. Shop test, fine. Save that. Great. So let's decorate our button. Alignment, we're going to want it in the middle, but remember we're probably going to have to adjust it as we adjusted the top, because that is actually in the middle of the full width row right there. Okay, that's fine. The button itself, let's make that blue and the purple color on hover, let's say. So use custom styles. Button text size at the moment, that's fine. Button background, let's make that button background the blue color. Make the text size white, or text color white I should say. Button border width, fine. Button border color blue. If you can take that off if you wish, if you don't want to have a border. It makes not a lot of difference really when it's all the same color. So again, I want it to be my purple color on hover, so I'm going to roll my mouse up over button background, hit the little arrow, hit the hover tab, and let's put in our little purple color. Let's trash the color that's there and add and paste in my hex code. There we go, fantastic. And we'll do the same for the border. And again, we want to go up to the little arrow up here, because we only want it on the hover state, we don't want it on the other state. Going to take away that color and put in my little purple color. There we go. Let's go back to regular and regular again. I'm going to roll down. I'm going to give it a little bit of box shadow. Icon, if you roll over it, it's got that little icon there. If you want that, fine. If you don't, just flip that to off. I think I'll leave mine as off for this. And text shadow, if you want it. On buttons, it usually works out quite well. It just gives it a little more definition there. And we'll give the whole button itself a little bit of box shadow. There we go. Now it's a little too far down. Let's make sure we've got no padding and spacing on there. So again, on the design tab, we want to be in spacing. Let's make sure there's no margin or padding top and bottom. Actually, for padding, you really don't want to adjust that, because it'll adjust what's around the actual text there. For instance, if I do the left and right and put, say, 100 pixels, you see it get a lot wider. You can make the button however, whatever width you want. That's actually fine. I'm going to leave it just like that. But I do want it a little bit higher up. And I do want it to be in the middle of this. And we gave this -300 on the left, didn't we? So let's do similar on this. Like I say, we'll have to adjust this on tablet and mobile. So that's working out there. And let's, on the top, give it a negative margin just to bring it up a little bit closer. I guess we could, before we do that, let's check there's not too much padding on the bottom of this. So I'm going back into the timer module, design, going down to spacing again. And I want to make sure there's no padding on the bottom. Let's brought it up a little bit. It's probably going to work out fine like that actually. So I'll just leave that just like it is. Now the whole thing, I believe I want to bring up so it's almost in line with this right here. So I'm going to give it, try -50 on the top. Here's the top. Great thing about margin, you can use it for positioning stuff. Yeah, I think that's going to work. So I'm quite happy with that. Now last thing I want to do, we've got this section now. Got a little bit too much padding on the bottom there. Oh, that's the other section that I demoed. That's fine. Let's just make the background of this a little more interesting. I want it white because that looks kind of clean, but I want a bit of an image in there. So I'm going to go into the section itself, the blue one. Background, I'm going to add a background image. Now, I showed you how to do blend modes in a previous one. We're actually going to use an overlay on the row on top of the section to work it today. Let's use that image right there. As you can see, it's in the background there, but it's way too in your face for me. So instead of using blend mode or anything like we used with the slider, I'm going to go into the row itself now, which is the green tab. And we're going to want to make sure that the section's got no padding top and bottom, because we want the whole thing covered. So let's go back in there. I can see there's padding on top and bottom. We're back into the section settings here. Let's go padding 0 top and 0 bottom. That's fine. And we'll just add a bit more to the row. again. Let's go back into the row. Something going on top there, I'm not sure. Okay, let's go into the row, design, content, and the background. Let's make it white. As you can see, it's white there, but I want a bit of that image to show through, so I'm going to click on the color itself and bring the opacity slider down until we can see a little bit of that image bleed through, something like that, just so there's a little bit coming through. Now we're banged up too much at the top here, so I want to add padding to the row this time, so it's about the same similar width as it was before we took the padding away from the section. So spacing, and let's say padding top, well, we'll try 100, that might be too much. I think that's going to work. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, let's save our changes. Now, let's make sure that this is going to work responsively on all devices. At the moment it works fine on this desktop, but let's go little purple button down here. Let's see it on a tablet. Okay, that's not working at all on a tablet, and this is completely wrong on the tablet. So what we need to do, let's go into this module and design. I want to change that back to how it was perhaps. Okay, so let's adjust this on this tablet here. So if you hover your mouse over any of these, you're going to get a bunch of icons appear. Let's go over to the one that looks like a little mobile phone. We're on tablet now. And let's make the width 100%. Or if you prefer, you can put it in the middle and have it smaller. We want to keep it in the middle anyway, but we only want to keep it in the middle on the tablet. So again, module alignment, tablet, put it in the middle, and if you want to, you can shrink it down some so there's a gap either side, however you like to do it. Okay, let's move on down to our timer. And we're probably going to have to make those numbers a bit smaller now we've got it on a tablet. So design, again it's on the spacing, we've got that minus 300, and we want to make sure we're just doing this on the tablet. And I'm going to completely take that away, 0. That's actually okay, that's not bad at all. Could give it a little more padding on the top so there's more space between the banner and the don't miss out. So let's do that. We've got minus 50 on the top. Let's make that 0 again. That's fine. Happy with that. Let's now go to our button. And again, I want that in the middle, and I want to take that negative margin away, which is spacing, but only on the tablet. So let's 0 that out. Yeah, that's going to work absolutely perfectly. Now let's make sure it's going to work on the phone too. So let's hit the little mobile phone. Okay, that's fine. In fact, I might want to make that 100% again on the phone. So we're on the phone, we're on the timer right now. Oh, actually we're on the button. Button's fine, so let's just save that. Start at the top again. Let's go back into our banner here. Let's go to sizing, and let's make that full width just on the phone there. So we've got it full width on the phone, 80 on the tablet, and about 50 on the desktop. That's fine. Module alignment's fine. Again, it should still be in the middle on the phone. Great. So this, I think all I'll need to do for this is perhaps take the number size down on the counter there. So let's save this and go into our counter, go to design, down to our numbers text, and again we just want to do this on the phone because it's fine on the tablet and the desktop. Numbers text size, hit the little phone icon, we're on phone, take this down to where it's going to work, something like that. Now you can see the seconds, the S here has dropped down on our labels down there, so we want to take that down as well so it's not breaking. Scroll down a little bit, label text, and again text size, but we only want it this size on the phone. Let's take it down there. Perfect. That should be good now on all devices. So that's on the phone. Let's have a look at it on the tablet again. It's fine. And let's have a look at it on the desktop. Fantastic. Okay, on the desktop we've obviously changed something there that's not worked out. Let's just check that. Desktop 3. There we go. Let's make it 59. That's better. Save, and we're good to go. Let's save our draft and exit the Visual Builder. Go down to where we were, and the button hover effect works fine, and it should take us to our new page, but the whole module should do as well. So if I click anywhere on this module, it should take us to our little shop page. There it is. Great. So I hope you've enjoyed that and found it useful. If you have, please ring the bell, give it a thumbs up, share, comment, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Once again, this has been Jamie from System22 and webdesignandtechtips.com. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.